If you're a growth operator, one of the biggest things that's going to stop you from scaling isn't leads. It's actually getting clients to do the work. I've been in your position where I'm texting clients all day, waiting on them to complete VSLs, waiting on them to complete ads, waiting on them to complete content, and everything seems to slow down because of it. In this video, I'm going to break down the 3 systems I have placed in my coaching agency that help me fix this exact problem without chasing clients. So let's get right into the mirror board. Getting clients to actually fulfill service and do things comes down to 2 things. Number 1 is structure, and the second thing is called OMS, which if you stick by the end of this video, you're going to know, and I promise you will absolutely change the way that you look at coaching business and allow you to actually scale to these imaginable numbers that you possibly think of. I can't stress this enough, but when a client signs your contract, there's 3 things that need to be done. The first thing is expectations, and I want to make this clear to you guys. It is easier to keep something fixed than to let it break and then try to fix it. An issue that I see time and time again is that a lot of people don't have the foundation set in place with their clients, and they maybe get a $20,000 a month, but to scale to $50,000 or $100,000, since that foundation is broken, it's very, very hard to fix it. And what ends up happening is that the client thinks that, okay, no, my growth operator is not doing any of the work, or I need to find someone new. But the reality is that the expectations weren't set at the beginning, and then 3-6 months down the line, when you guys are trying to scale and are hitting a plateau, you can't scale. So this is how I do it with my clients. Once the client pays the upfront retainer, I then send them a type form, and in this type form I collect things like EIN numbers for A2P verification, any Google Drives that I may need, any login information, any lead list, any testimonials, screenshots, anything that you could possibly think of. And this is sent exactly after they complete that payment and we sign the contract to start working together. Now this type form probably takes them 5 to 10 minutes to complete, just because it's a lot of information that they're going to have to find, and I give them a due date to complete this by, which is typically 48 hours. And as you can see right there, it's the small things like setting expectations, like you have 48 hours to do this. Now once I give them access to that type form, I also simultaneously give them access to Discord, and this is going to go into what we talk about later on in this video, where we do not use iMessage or anything like that. I give them access to Discord, and Discord is where we're going to be doing follow-ups. We're talking about any issues that we have, payments, chargeback, VSL, quick fixes, or just regular communication. And also in Discord, we're going to have a channel right here called Mod, which is where we're going to be communicating together. Where in Mod, it's going to be the sales manager, myself, the content creator / the offer owner, and then the content team, right? And then in the next day meeting, what happens is I introduce them to the content team, and my content team is specifically for YouTube. That's what I handle, and my sales managers. So you need to set expectations at the beginning, and expectation isn't just what you say, it's the way that you carry yourself. You give them deadlines, you expect things at this time, you set the expectations of what you need for them. So if you need X amount of videos every single week, you tell them this at the very, very beginning. If communication is supposed to be held on Discord, if they try to text you on iMessage, you redirect them to Discord. It is much easier to keep something fixed than to let it break and try to fix it. So if you have a client right now, still implement what I'm about to tell you. But once you get that next client, set the expectations straight at the beginning so that you don't have issues as you try to scale. What goes hand in hand is setting expectations, holding them accountable. As an offer owner, you are busy. You're probably doing the business model. You're dealing with fulfillment, and you're also probably creating content. I understand you're busy, and as a growth operator, they are going to be busy, but you need to still hold them accountable, because that's going to lead us to OMS, which we're going to talk about later on in this video. And what I mean by holding them accountable is that you don't have to be a dick or speak to them bad or cuss at them. You just simply have to say, hey, I expect 2 YouTube videos a week from you. You didn't post 2 YouTube videos out last week, and if you don't post, we're not really gonna have enough leads to make money for your coaching program. And it's really important for you to do that so that we can obviously all make some money, right? And hold them accountable to these things. And don't ever feel, and this is an issue that I struggle with, I felt like I was bothering these guys, but it's better for you to bother them and piss them off, and then them eventually change, rather than to you not bothering them and under expressing your concerns and then them leaving feeling like you're not doing the work that you need to do. So hold them accountable, and if they don't do what you need them to do, you need to have enough leverage as a growth operator to part ways with them. And the next thing is hosting daily meetings. This is something that will allow me to scale multiple coaching offers from $5,000, $10,000 a month to $50,000, even $100,000. It's having daily meetings. One thing you have to stop doing is stop using iMessage. If you're still communicating with iMessage with your coach or with your consultant or with your team, stop doing it. iMessage is for emergencies and emergencies only. Instead, what you want to do is you want to host daily meetings on Google Calendar or on iLook, whatever you want to call it. I specifically use Google Meeting. Now you might be sitting here saying, well, I already do host meetings. Well, you're probably hosting like 1 meeting a week. You need to host at least 6 meetings. If you see right here, I put 6 Google calendars to translate for 6 meetings. Host 6 meetings a week, and maybe on Saturday or Sunday, depending on your availability, you don't host one, maybe religious purposes. Me specifically, I don't host meetings on Sundays with my clients, and this is kind of like a chill and relax day. But host meetings, not just 1, not 2, but 6 meetings every single week. And in these meetings, are very, very short meetings, are anywhere between 5 to 10 minutes long, where you cover what's working, what's not working, and OMS. And the way that I do this is I start off my meetings myself and I talk about what I'm doing right now, what's working on the marketing side of things, what's not working, and then I lead it on to my sales manager. He tells me on the sales side of things what's working, what's not working, and we discuss things like close rates, show up rates, any bottlenecks the setters or closers are having. And what this allows you to do, it allows the offer owner to actually understand what's happening in their business. And like I said, all of this leads us back to OMS. Right? OMS, if you stick to the end, or if you stick to the next part of this video, it will absolutely change the way that you look at the coaching business. And that's the same exact thing with me. Marketing, I tell them what's working, what's not working, the numbers, the KPIs that we're having. The content team, same exact thing. If we're getting leads, if the hook didn't work, if this video is blowing up right now, right? And we talk together as a team to figure out how to scale the coaching program. So the first thing is structure. And if you have these 3 things set in place, the likelihood of it breaking later on or you having to fix it is very, very low. And you need to set this at the beginning so that later on when you have issues, you can actually get through and scale, because regardless of where you are, you're gonna have issues as a growth operator or with your coaching program. So next thing, what you've probably all been waiting for is OMS. Now, OMS is something that if you understand and you actually dial into your brain, it will change the way you look at coaching business. It will absolutely change how you see things, and it'll allow you to make a lot of more money. And every single coach or consultant that I've taught this to, or growth operators that I've taught this to, and all of my students, it has allowed them to make significantly more money than what they were making before knowing this simple principle. So what does OMS stand for? It stands for offer, marketing, and sales, right? Offer is what you sell and why it makes sense to buy to the prospect. The easiest way to create a very, very good offer is to use Alex Hormozi's value equation. Dream outcome time perceived likelihood of creating it over the time delay and the effort and sacrifice they have to take, which is going to create value, which is what you need in a really, really good offer. But that's not really what I'm trying to talk about here when I talk about OMS and getting your client to do things. It's marketing. But before we get into marketing, sales. Sales is how you turn interest into revenue. When a lead comes in, how do you turn them from a prospect to someone who's paying you money? Now, the big thing and the big key here that I need you to understand if you want your client to do what you need them to do is marketing. A coaching business is an actual business, and in every single business, there's OMS, offer, marketing, and sales. The coach and consultant is very, very, very important in the marketing side of things. In the offer, that's mainly you as a growth operator. You create the offer and you make sure the offer is good just by looking at fulfillment, how many people are succeeding, how many people are failing, and how many people actually get the result that you were promised at the beginning. Sales, the same exact thing. That's you or your sales manager. You guys handle the conversion rates. But marketing is where you, the growth operator, and the coach and consultant work together. And if one person is not doing what they need to be doing, the marketing system is going to fail. And if any single one of this system fails, what's going to happen is that you're not going to be able to scale. You're either going to plateau, you're not going to be able to scale, or you're going to just be struggling, spinning your wheels every single day, right? Marketing is how you get the right people to become aware of your offer. And listen to how I clarify this again. It's how you get the right people to become aware of your offer. Right? Keynotes on the right people. It's not just creating content or just posting anything randomly to get leads. It's getting the right people in front of your offer. Now, there's 3 main ways to getting your offer in front of people. You either, 1, go to them, they come to you, or they come to you via ads. Now, going to them is very, very slow. What I mean by this is outreach. At scale, you cannot do outreach. It's too slow. It's low quality of people who are gonna respond, and it's just simply the worst ways of acquiring leads. So you don't want to do that. The second thing is them coming to you. This is by posting frequently on platforms like TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram. This is where you optimize bi-weekly, and this is where you get, and this is what's great for most people. And then the last thing is advertisement. You pay for people to come to you. Now, the way you go about this, you optimize weekly. It costs money, but it's very, very predictable. And if you're somewhere doing anywhere around $20,000 to $50,000 a month mark, you can start running ads to get to that $100,000 a month mark and make this an actual business that is predictable. My philosophy is that you want to pick one marketing channel and you want to optimize with the 80-20 rule. 80% of your leads are going to come through here and then the other 20 through these other different channels. For most people, what's going to work is for the leads coming to you via creating content. And once we start talking about content, it's the volume and frequency that you need your client or your consultant to post. For my agency specific, I require them to post 2 YouTube videos a week, 1 reel a day, and honestly, fuck TikTok. TikTok is one of the worst platforms out there right now if you're trying to scale a coaching program. You really want to focus on YouTube and Instagram if done properly. So this is a specific volume that I have for them, and as long as they continue to follow this, we will reach the $50,000, $100,000, $200,000, and even $300,000 a month mark with coaching programs. Now, this is just a basic guideline that I have for my consultant. Now, if they are bigger and they have a lot more leads, they may not need to post this amount of time. Whereas if they're trying to grow, maybe they post a little bit more. If we're trying to slowly scale, then they follow this pattern. So this is the OMS system. Take this video, send it to your coaching consultant, and tell them to watch from this point forward when we talk about marketing, because if they don't do their side of posting content, you're not going to be able to scale. And it does not matter what you do, because marketing is a two-sided coin. It's you and the coaching consultant. Now, if you're a growth operator or a coaching consultant that wants to work with me one-on-one, click the first link below. It's going to be a type form where at the end, if you qualify, you will be able to book a call. Other than that, thank you for watching. Until next